welcome to another episode of Dos and a Half Cincos. This is episode number 108. This week, we cover in our movie of the week, The Batman. Before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And I am Ben.
Vengeance.
Yeah, we don't want to bury the lead too much, but wow.
It was in the preview.
That's true. Did you guys see anything else besides The Batman, Stu?
Well, it's been quite a
Couple
while
weeks,
since our
right?
last episode, so I feel like I've watched quite a number of things. But one notable thing I'll mention is that now I'm not one for murder porn. I'm sure we're all familiar with the concept of murder porn, right? Right?
Yes. We've seen Saw.
Testing. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've seen Saw and all that stuff. Okay.
No, not. Wait, what? Did you say
Isn't
Jigsaw?
Saw considered like murder porn?
No,
Murder porn?
like the true crime, like, oh, the dead body was found with 10 gallons of semen in it or something
Oh,
like that.
Okay.
On ID, like whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Like-
True
like-
TV or whatever.
Like true crime TV stuff where they're interviewing
yeah.
people and like, oh my god, I can't believe he lived right next door to me.
yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Are you talking about the worst roommate ever? on
I am.
Netflix?
Oh,
I saw, like, I was browsing Netflix and that kind of was like it forced its like little preview on me and kind of caught my attention. So I started watching it. It was actually pretty interesting.
There are some really horrible people.
Yeah.
that you
I-
can fi-
I think
find.
the thing that I think kind of did it for me is that it kind of had more of like a horror aspect to it, more of a horror tone. And then as I finished watching the first episode, I realized, oh, because it's made by Blumhouse.
Oh yes, I noticed that at the very end.
So that's pretty interesting. I give it a watch. I'd recommend it.
Did you finish all of them?
I think so. I don't. There's only a couple episodes, right? Like four.
All I know is I've seen only 3 so
Oh.
far. We
I think
started
the
that
last one's a
yesterday.
two-parter, but
Okay.
the first episode so far I think was the best one.
That was the girl. Oh, the old lady, right? Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I also did something on. I was also browsing a lot of Netflix recently, and we watched like Creating Anna, the Anna Delvey story, like the con
creating or
artist.
creating.
Creating.
Oh. Not like
And
putting
that's
her in a
kind of what
box.
ended up leading us into watching The Worst Roommate Ever.
Yeah.
That one was okay. It's a lot more dramatized. Obviously, it's not like firsthand accounts or anything like that, but it was actually kind of interesting. It kind of ended up going down a rabbit hole. If you guys are familiar with like Fire Festival and some of the other like scam artists in New York, they kind of cross paths. So that was kind of an interesting nod to, oh, that's how they actually met in real life and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting as well. What about you, Ben?
I watched a bunch of things, but I'll just narrow it down to top 3. I've just finished this TV show, the first season of The After Party on Apple TV. Have you guys heard of
Okay.
that?
No.
That one's the new one, right?
Yeah. It's like it's pretty new. Like the last episode just came out last week. It's like
I've seen
If you like
trailers
mur-
for it. It's a high school reunion party, right? Like friends come back together and then it kind of goes bad.
yeah, one of them gets murdered, and so
Oh
it's-
no.
yeah. So if you like murder mysteries, I highly recommend the show.
Ben, is
God.
this your way of trying to get us to do that dinner murder mystery party that you've been planning for years and years?
What do you mean
Just-
planning? That would
that-
be premeditated.
Premeditated.
Whatever. One of my
He knows what he said. Okay,
Premediated.
continue.
Pre-medium rared.
We need a pre-mediator to handle this conflict.
A pre-medium.
Pre-medium. I can't really talk to spirits, but I just kind of get you ready for it.
Because mediums are not people persons, right?
Yeah.
I need to.
I'm a people person, damn it.
But
Alright, sorry, Ben, continue.
So it's a murder mystery. It's about 8 episodes long, but the spin on it is that each episode kind of goes through a different character's perspective or their accounting of what happened. And what makes the show so interesting is that each character kind of has their own personal style of how they're telling the story. So whether or not like they're pretty much telling like an action story or a thriller or a rom-com or a cartoon, you know, like the whole like the whole the whole story kind of goes like that, and it kind of like stitches together all these different events or these accountings of the same event. And the whole season is out, I think, so it's I think it's definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
It reminds me of that episode of Always Sunny where they're each recounting.
Yeah,
their,
the same
it's pretty
event.
much like that. It is pretty much like that, except a murder mystery, and there are some, you know, similarities between their stories. So if you like that kind of thing, check it out.
And then trying to find common threads and stuff like that, and just
and it's pretty fun because you can kind of figure out who did it from all the stories. So it also works at that level too.
I believe it's
spoiler alert, it was the audience.
Not only that, but you know, there's some fun cameos in there as well. So
okay,
pretty cool.
Are each individual episode directed by somebody different, or is it just the same director telling a different story each time?
I want to say that most of the episodes are directed by one person, but there are like 1 or 2 episodes that are directed by someone else.
There's some pretty big names in this.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's got a pretty stacked cast, and they're all pretty funny. So,
well, I don't want to dive too deep.
Is it like a comedy murder mystery?
Yeah, it's definitely a comedy murder mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Dave Franco,
Ben Schwartz,
yeah, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, you know,
the actual Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the new one, but yeah. But yeah, so check it out. The other thing I've been watching a lot of, unfortunately, well,
Euphoria.
No, I tried watching that. It was too depressing for me. But this one actually is a little more depressing than that.
What?
So over the past few weeks, you know, I've hosted like a movie night with another group of friends, and we all take turns picking movies. So,
which anime movie was this?
Oh, I wish it were anime. I wish.
Sin City.
I've been subjected to an unhealthy amount of Japanese Power Rangers-esque movies.
What?
I did not know that they...
action?
Yeah, like, they're still going in Japan, and, like, there's a whole bunch of them. I know it's still going here, but the amount that has been going on in Japan is staggering and just terrifying. And let me tell you, oh man, like, I think these movies really just appeal to people that have ADD or some shit. You know, they're just like an inordinate amount of shit that is going on the screen at the same fucking time. Like, you know, on Power Rangers when they transform and the theme song starts playing and they do their little animation and transform and shit, right?
How could I forget?
Yeah. Now, imagine like 50 of them on screen at the same time, except all 50 of them have their own fucking theme song and their own transformation, right? No, it gets better. And they all fucking do it at the same fucking time. And their fucking theme songs and everything and their transformations just play on top of each other. Like, and that goes on for their fucking special moves and whatever too. So it's just a whole fucking screen of just CGI explosions and like lasers and like slashes and shit. Like each movie is the equivalent of 1.5 hours of an aneurysm, of one continuous brain aneurysm.
What was that movie that we watched that was kind of like that? The one in the forest.
The forest. Oh, in the earth or whatever.
Yeah, was it like that?
No, it's much worse. Oh my fucking god. Oh,
whose brilliant picks are these? I think I can guess, but
yeah, you know who it is.
Rhymes with gooey.
Gavin Gooey.
Oh man, I was way off.
Bevan Cooey.
So yeah, that's what I've been subjected to. I want to say I've gotten through all of them, and I never want to have to deal with it ever again. But who knows? There's probably some other spin-off Power Ranger bullshit mumbo jumbo out there that I haven't watched yet.
Is there not a veto like option for you guys?
Nope,
like,
you know,
why is this not up to a vote at some point? If it keeps repeating,
it's whoever's turn it is, they have all the fucking power in the world. You know. So it's a dangerous game we play, this Russian roulette. So,
but except for there's a bullet in every chamber.
Yeah, every 3 weeks, or there's 3 of us, so every 3 weeks there's always a bullet. It's just just what it is. Now, the final thing that we were watching, so Letty and I have been watching all the Harry Potter films because I have never watched them before, and she was like, "What?" Yeah,
what?
so
really,
yeah,
they're all on HBO Max now.
Well, shit, David. Now I know.
Wait a minute. Where did you watch them?
It was never a question of where do I watch these.
Yeah, just a question of when do I get the interest to do this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I've never seen them before, and we're going to finish the whole series off in time for watching the last 2 at Alamo in April. So that's why we're getting through them.
The last 2?
Yeah, the Deathly Hollows or whatever.
Oh, they're showing them there.
Yeah, they're showing like a special screening of it there. So let me ask you guys, what is the male equivalent of a Mary Sue?
I think it's just a Mary Sue.
But that's like it's for a female, right? I mean, like that's like the whole thing about it. It's like why is it?
I mean, hey Ben, it's 2022. All right,
Everyone's a Mary Sue. You're a Mary Sue. You're a Mary Sue.
I'm a Mary Sue. He's a Mary Sue. We're all Mary Sues. Hey.
Now, I gotta say, like, Harry Potter is the biggest fucking Mary Sue on the fucking planet, and no one fucking calls him out for this shit. I mean, like, ooh, this wander's only for the most powerful wizards. Oh my god, I've never done magic before. Let me try. Oh my god, he's the most powerful wizard in the world. Oh my god. Hey, Harry, you want to try Quidditch? Oh, I never found a flying broom before. Oh my god, he's the best Quidditch player in the world's ever seen. Oh
Isn't
my
that
fucking
the
god, it's
point
been
of
going
every
on.
superhero movie though? But we're just
No, it's not. It's like,
magic?
holy fuck no. It's like this shit. This fucking piece of shit has like been going on for already 4 movies. I'm only 4 movies in, by the way. Okay.
Like
and there's going to be like 3 or 4 more movies of this shit where he's just like good at everything and just like, well, that's good old Harry Potter, and everyone's just gonna just accept it.
Everything else has been taken away from him. He doesn't have any parents. He's an orphan, Ben.
Oh, so that's why he's just good at everything.
Orphan powers, right? If you take away all the meats, right? Vegans have the most amount. If you watch plenty of what's it called? Scott Pilgrim, right? You take away dairy, you take away their meat, and so they lose all these all their powers and senses become much heightened. Right?
So you're saying because he wasn't breastfed, he's just good at everything because his mom died. Is that it?
That's it.
Sounds like he's like the male Ray.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh.
they gave Ray
Oh no.
all that shit. Like, why don't you give Harry Potter the same fucking shit? Look at this fucking asshole, huh?
Actually, I think Harry Potter came out before Rey was created in the Star Wars universe.
They just fucking put a tattoo on fucking Rey's head and give her glasses. Everyone would be like, "Oh my god, you're so great, Rey."
Yeah, I've never watched it, but that's it's not giving me any incentive now to watch it.
I don't think Ben was trying to incentivize you to feel the torture.
Here, let me try and incentivize you more. Not a lot of people can apparently talk to snakes, but Harry Potter can. He doesn't even know he could do it.
Fantastic.
Okay, hold on. I wonder if wait, hold up. Where's the other list? Where's the other list?
Ben, I'm wondering if by the end, if I mentioned one thing, if it would have changed your thinking.
David, are you a Harry Potter apologist?
I am not. I have watched those films at least twice through since I've been married. They play constantly in the background. You know how there's always
Irene's the apologist.
Irene is a big Harry Potter fan.
Uh-oh.
So I know all of the details. So after you finish the last 2, you can talk to me about it. I'll talk about it right now on how much fucking piece of shit this character is.
Just wait till the last 2 movies and they'll explain everything you're talking about.
No, not necessarily. It will definitely make it a little bit more understandable why Ben's like the thing that Ben's experiencing, I've experienced. I was just like, why are we watching this again? And she goes, because you're married. And I was like, you're great.
Damn
point.
It.
But after a while, I would start asking questions, kind of like the same way where when we're watching sports, she'll ask me questions, and I was like, wait, let me actually ask a good question here, and I had the same thing, not in the same way that Ben asked it, or just, exploded all over the page here. But I definitely asked some questions, and then I was like, "What? Okay, what is the implications of this? What's the implication of that?" And so essentially, do I want to spoil this for you, Ben?
It seems like you're already spoiling it. For me. I mean, why
I haven't
not?
said anything of substance. I just said that
You
might
never
wanna
do,
wait till
so
the-
nothing's changed.
Excellent. Then I will remain anonymous for this, but give it a chance. Wait, has Letty not seen all of them?
No,
before?
she's a fan. It's just I don't have anything against the movies itself. I think the movies are well made. It's just that Harry Potter, the character
Trope, yeah,
in
like
in
who he
particular,
is.
is a little piece of shit. You know?
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Like, it's almost kind of like nothing he could ever do is wrong, right? Everything has an excuse and a
Or he's
reason.
just the best at everything, even
He
though
is. He
has
literally
no idea
is.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not the best at keeping his parents alive.
Oh, he's not the best at not being an orphan. See, yeah, he's totally not a Mary Sue. See,
He's the
Well,
complete
when I've been
opposite.
beat, I've been beat. I'm like,
He's a complete opposite of a Mary Sue. He's an Oliver Twist.
how could he be the best if he sleeps under a staircase?
Wait, Stu, you said wait, you've seen a couple, right?
I've
It's not
seen
that
like
you-
bits and pieces of like some of the movies. I still have no idea like the overall stories.
That- oh man, I
But
feel
that
like
did remind me. I did do another long watch of the Lord of the Rings movies,
ooh, nice. The extended.
the
or-
extendo
Oh.
versions. So that was another 12 hours of my life.
Is it really 12 hours in total?
It's roughly maybe more like it might be more like 10 hours and 45 minutes or something, or 11 hours. But
Damn, chef's kiss,
Yeah.
masterpiece.
yeah,
okay. Yeah. So
pretty
Ben, what
good.
else did you see? I'm sorry, we
No, that was it.
derailed
That
you
was
here.
the top three. You want me to keep
Okay.
going? I can keep
No.
going.
I did get a chance to catch Spencer, which is the Oscar nominated film. I had I wish I could get 2 hours back, honestly.
You didn't like it?
I thought it
Spencer?
was okay, but I didn't realize that it was going to be less of a biopic and it was more like psychological.
Yeah, it's like Black
Ish.
Swan almost.
Yeah, I guess it was just I was a victim of another one of those like the trailers. Like, they definitely did not spell like this was what I was kind of expecting, and so when it kind of started happening, I was like, "How far into this movie are we?" And it was like, "Oh, it's already 2/3 done." I was like, "What?" So it was a little bit strange for me. I guess it does matter what kind of mindset you go into a movie with, but yeah, I'll probably check out some of the other ones and I'll let you guys know.
Wait, hold on. I want to say something spoilerly about this movie.
She
So-
dies at the end.
Huh? No.
About
well,
what?
No, they didn't end the movie there. But
On what?
I
Spencer,
do want
or
to talk about the very ending though, and why I gave it like such a high rating.
the Batman or Spencer.
Spencer.
Okay,
They
go ahead.
ended at a KFC.
Nice.
I
Wait, was it all you can eat KFC?
No,
though?
no.
don't know if they have one in Jolly
It was a
Old.
Well, then
KFC,
how could you rate
KFC
it that high then?
drive-through.
Hey, a KFC is a KFC, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a KFC is shit unless it's all
Whoa,
you can eat.
whoa! Let's not take anything back. We
Hey, it's
say
no-
that we
it's
don't.
not like it's-
He's in the right here.
KFC
KFC
is
is
no
only good
Popeyes,
if there's
alright?
an unlimited amount. If it's gonna
Whoa.
be a limited amount, it's got to be Popeyes.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna-
KFC is fine in a pinch, all right. It's fine on any given day. It's fine, like right now. I could walk down the street and I'd be pretty happy with my KFC, all right.
Maybe you should have lived closer to a Popeyes then.
Shut up.
Did
Don't
Ben
put
just
that on
become
us.
a KFC apologist for them?
We have to do with what we have, David.
If the nearest was a 7-Eleven, I'm sure you'd probably be defending their fried chicken there.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a 7-Eleven fried chicken, all right.
unless it's in Japan. It's only in Japan that it's good.
Let me
Here,
tell you, that's the best. You know, waking up every morning and getting me some Japanese fried chicken at 7-Eleven. That is one of life's greatest pleasures. You know.
So the eighth wonder of the world.
No, it's more like the 12th wonder of the world, and the 11th and the 10th, 9th, the 8th.
One that's 1 through 12.
Yeah, it's well, the 5-piece.
I've had some really poor chicken from KFC, and I've never had a bad experience at Popeyes. So,
yep.
This is why you only get the dark meat. You never get the white.
That's it. Had nothing to do with the doneness
So
of the
let me
chicken.
tell you about fast
In
food
fact-
white meat.
In fact, Ben, it was leg pieces that were the
Soggy.
sad pieces at KFC.
Your Honor, this man cannot tell the difference between a leg and a breast. How can we even begin to trust his judgment on movies?
Ben, you're poking way too many fundamental holes into this podcast. All right, we're gonna move over to our box office rundown because it's been a while since we've done one of these. So shut up. All right, number one, no surprise, The Batman with $134 million, sneaking up right behind Spider-Man: No Way Home as the number two biggest release. Yeah, during the pandemic. Following to number two is last week's winner, Uncharted, with 11 million. It's actually a little bit crazy that it's been out for 3 weeks, and the Batman actually outgrossed that in one weekend. Number three, Dog, with 6 million. Number four, Spider-Man: No Way Home, with another 4.5 million, bringing its grand total so far to $786 million domestically. Number five, Death on the Nile, with 2.7 million. Number six, Sing 2. Number seven, Jackass Forever. Number eight, Cyrano. Number nine, I don't know how to say this, Gangubai Kathalawadi, with 592,000. And number 10 is Scream with 575,000. Falling out of the top 10 is Marry Me and Studio 666. Comments, questions, concerns? Do not ask me to repeat that name again.
Hey, David, what's number 9?
Gangubai Kathaliwadi. Kathaiwadi? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't speak.
Yeah, you're sorry, piece of shit.
All right, Ben, go ahead. How do you pronounce that name?
I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to even try.
And today we're only going to do the top 8 because there's no movies past that. Nobody did any movies past that. Obviously, you guys are probably not surprised at all that the Batman was able to pull in such a large box office this week, right? I mean, this is DC's like staple property. Ben, do you have a little bit more background or details on the Batman? Because I believe this is not part of the DC EU, correct?
At this point, I think Warner Brothers is just taking wild swings and trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Like, I don't think they have like a grand plan. Like, oh, we're gonna have an extended universe or where the fuck it is. Like, they have some like glimpses and like little proddings of it, like Peacemaker show and like tying it together with a Suicide Squad movie and like tying it in with some of the DCEU, but apparently it's not. It's kind of confusing. Like, I really think at this point they're just trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Because
I mean, is it because of the fact that they pretty much said Schneider versus Dead, and then they're like, well, it did so well, maybe we bring it back?
I don't know. I mean, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder doesn't want to really continue this because it's like, fuck you guys, right?
But we as fans, we deserve this.
And Zack Snyder deserves a bigger paycheck, and they're not going to give it to him. So
Sure,
yeah,
paycheck
it
number
ain't
one,
happening.
much higher. Just had a couple of notes over the past week. AMC started introducing tier pricing. What that means is for premium screen times in Los Angeles, they increased the price up to $1.50 for certain seats at certain times. their comp is saying that you do the same thing at sports, like sports venues. Like, let's say if you're in Staples Center, you're sitting in the 300 section, it's obviously going to be much cheaper than if you were sitting in the 200 section or courtside. So that's what they're planning on doing to take advantage of this. What are your guys' thoughts? I know that you guys both are not subscribers to AMC's A-list or anything like that. You guys are both Cinemark, right?
Cinemark? What the fuck?
Oh, Regal, sorry.
You mean Krikorian? You
Yeah.
mean
Korean.
You guys
I don't
Krikorian
know.
or is it Regal?
You mean Harkins?
Which one is it?
You mean United Artists?
Which one is it?
You mean Regency?
Are they sponsored by Coca-Cola?
No.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Whether or not people agree with it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it is kind of like a shitty move to pull.
Would you guys pay more if it was for
I think-
screen time at
I think
7 p.m. in the middle?
I think
Or-
maybe instead of charging more for the premium seats,
Mm-hmm.
they should charge less for the shitty seats.
Oh, if you're willing to sit in the front row,
Yeah.
then it's like
Yeah.
50% off.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes more sense, but
Or,
there's
I mean,
also
if-
Tuesdays for that.
If they're gonna charge more for like the better seats, they should also charge less for the shitty seats.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Like,
If they did that, I think it'd make more sense.
Or it's because now they've created this floor. The shitty seats are just the regular price, and the more expensive seats are just the higher ones.
yeah, what about?
I think that's a
pit,
way for them
though?
to sneak.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think like the
make
okay
price.
seats would be like the main seats that are off to the like on the sides, and then the premium seats are the center seats, and then the shitty seats are the front. The front.
What if they're so out of touch that they think, oh, hey, look, it's just like a sporting venue, courtside seat.
courtside?
How come these don't make more money? But then they're like, wait, if it's more expensive, it has to be better. And then they go sit down in it, and they've gotten suckered.
Why don't they just increase their concessions price by like 50 cents and call it a day?
Yeah,
Because it's already egregious that you're paying $10 for a bag.
Yeah,
of
so what's
popcorn
another
to
50
begin with.
cents?
I mean, it's just a bag of popcorn. How much could it cost? $30.
You want to upgrade that to a large for another 50 cents?
Oh yeah, okay.
The small's $28, but then the large is $30. It's like, for $2 more, I get how much more popcorn? Double? Okay.
Nominal.
Yeah. There's also a concern that apparently Captain Marvel's too strong for this particular phase of the MCU.
How would we know that? We haven't even. There hasn't even been anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because of the fact that in Endgame, right, you see Captain Marvel pretty much going toe-to-toe with Thanos. So there's that. It was like they're trying to like figure out where she kind of sits, and so I guess there's like some internal conversations that are making it sound like they might be axing Captain Marvel soon.
I think my whole thing about the whole Captain Marvel thing was that because I wasn't really familiar, and I'm still not, with the whole Marvel universe and everything, all the heroes and stuff. But then when I learned that like Captain Marvel is supposed to be like the strongest of them of all like the Avengers, I thought it was a little weird that we spent all this time and investment on all these other characters that everyone likes, and then at the last second you're going to shoehorn in like the most powerful hero with like very little development.
Yeah, I wish they spent more time with her, and also like I think she was literally added like pretty late into the process.
Yeah,
like she wasn't even part of the plan for
Yeah.
the Infinity Saga.
And I think that kind of shortchanged it a little bit. Like I think if they should have either not included her, or they should have included her in like the earlier phases.
Yeah, I would have been, like I was a little disappointed with her, to be honest. It's like, it's such a cool concept, and well, they fucked it up.
Like I was like, what? Like everyone's like invested in Iron Man and Hulk and Thor, and then everyone else who's been around, and then at the and like right before the Infinity War movies come out, it's also here's Captain Marvel, who's super stronger than everyone else.
And we're gonna really, really need her because Thanos is so crazy strong.
And not only that, but her movie kind of was like meh, you know,
Yeah.
just like.
Yeah, the movie wasn't great. But yeah, I just like, why? We're all already invested, and now you're just going to tell me that there's a super strong, the strongest Avenger is about to just come in and, you know, kind of negate everyone else. Like, what was the point then?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, but I gotta go. Bye, guys.
yeah, yeah.
I'm getting
My
publicly
planet
canceled
needs me.
for yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Captain Marvel, it looks like you got something to say.
Only you can.
Yes, I certainly do.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think this week we'd also be, well, we're a movie podcast. We really don't need to talk about politics at all, but Russia attacked Ukraine. That's pretty much it. And one of the things I thought was kind of interesting is that in order to help support some Ukrainians, Airbnb has been the new Venmo version of that. So if anybody is interested in helping some Ukrainians, go rent some nights in Ukraine, but just don't go and send them money. I've said my political piece.
Money
Yeah.
me a lot now.
Yeah. But yeah, it's apparently
Do
61,000.
they not have crypto over there or something?
Well, I don't know if all of them know how to be able to extract money out of there, but apparently,
Well, fucking get with it, you boomers.
According to CNN, over 61,000 nights have been booked for Airbnb within Ukraine since the attacks started, with half of those nights being booked by Americans. So, yeah, we're doing our part, I guess, sending you money for.
I'm not sure if I understand how that works, but okay.
I don't.
Well, essentially, what they would do is they
Yeah.
would check out.
You gotta
They
keep
would
the
check
money
out
moving.
and then get it's an ecosystem within itself. All right. All right. I think that's pretty much it for that. All right. Ben, can you go ahead and get us set up for the Batman?
Batman ventures into Gotham City's underworld when a sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans become clear, he must forge new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued Gotham.
All right, Stu, thoughts on the Batman?
Oh boy, where to begin with the Batman? Good movie, A+. Watch it. Would watch again. Next question.
Score out of 10.
No,
would be?
I think I think a lot of people dunk on DC for, being the redheaded stepchild of the comic book movie producers.
Mhm.
But I think they finally nailed it with this one.
Really?
And,
Compared to like the Dark Knight and stuff like that, you didn't.
I mean, the Dark Knight was also. I mean, that was good too. Like they haven't really. Let's say they haven't nailed it since then.
Okay.
And even then, looking back on it in comparing the Christian Bale Batman movies, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies to the Batman, I feel like the Batman does a better job of capturing the Batman aesthetic. Because really, when you look back at kind of the Christopher Nolan Batmans, like they just seem like they're in just like, yeah, this is just, American City, USA. It's in but like, I feel like they really gave like Gotham its own kind of voice in this movie, or like kind of a
character. It
yeah,
was like
almost
the
like
city
it
was a character as opposed
yeah,
to just the setting.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think along with just some pretty surprising. I was pleasantly surprised with Robert Pattinson. I think he's a very good Batman. I still think maybe if there's another movie, or if they're gonna do a series, I still think he needs to bulk up a little bit. But other than that, it was Very enjoyable.
How about the number of shirtless scenes? Would you go up or down?
There's only like one shirtless scene, wasn't there?
So
It was like 1.5.
One of those.
So clearly,
I'm assuming that was something they had to reshoot based on the early production
that's true.
issues. Like,
there was a funny rumor that was going around actually related to what you're saying, Stu, and that the director had had very tight tensions with Robert Pattinson because he could not for the life of him get Robert Pattinson to work out.
I heard that like there's a similar rumor kind of piggybacking off of that on the days where he was shooting that he would like watch how much water he was drinking so that way he wouldn't look puffy. So that way he would look more shredded. I was like, but he's not a big dude in the first place. What are you worried about?
First come on, Robert. First you bulk and then you shred.
Yeah, you have to do the oh crap, I forgot his name.
I'm cultivating Maz.
Yeah.
What's up, cultivating?
Start harvesting.
Go talk to Mac. Go talk to Rob McElhenney about how to be able to get to the shape that you're supposed to be. Or we will replace you in the second Batman movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of I think it did an overall just good job on a lot of fronts. I think it was kind of like the Batman movie that we probably been waiting for. It's kind of like I was thinking about it too, going back to like the Christopher Nolan Batmans. Like back then, we're like, oh yeah, this is the Batman we've been waiting for, and then just like, but you're just comparing that to the previous Batman movies that were extremely silly and
just almost like straight out of the comic book, but they took the word comic and really ran with it.
Whereas this, I think this iteration has taken that and kind of done the same thing, where it's like, oh, you thought those were dark and gritty.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Do you think these are closer to those other Batman films that you were watching on HBO?
Maybe, because those ones were pretty violent and kind of dark too, even though they're still kind of have that I don't know, that animation style still just kind of just reminds me of like childish like playtime, just because I think we grew up with that kind of animation style, so that's just how it was. But
do you think it would have been better off if they were to get closer to that?
But
of course that would probably
animated movies.
No, yeah, well, kind of like be less worried about the rating, right? Because this is PG-13, right? But if we were to give it a rated R rating, do you think it would have given it a little bit more creative?
Well, rated R movies never do as good in the box office.
They don't.
Who cares about the soapbox, Stu? I'm just asking you personally because I know that I don't want to say done a lot more research, but you've been exposed to that IP a lot more than I have. So I'm just asking you from a fan's perspective, would you have preferred a more we did get darker, we got grittier, but we definitely didn't get that same violence sense, you know?
I think it got as dark as you could possibly get in this movie without getting a rated R or R rating.
Yeah.
So I think, that they did a pretty good job. There were, and we can get into it in the spoilers, there were parts of the movie where I was like, no, come on, go, let's
yeah, you can show that, right?
Yeah, come on, show it, but then they'd probably have to get a R rating, so.
Okay, what about you, Ben? Thoughts?
Well, I had a lot of expectations for this movie, the director, Matt Reeves, he took a movie concept that sounded so fucking stupid on paper, and he turned it into my favorite movie of 2014, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah.
We're not even.
That was your favorite movie?
Yeah, no, I was surprised too. I'm just as surprised as you are. It's just like
no. 2014. There must have been a better movie at that. Oh, okay.
No, man.
Yo, John Wick came out in 2014. What are you talking about?
Interstellar was
a bunch of apes took the crown. Holy fuck, man! I don't know how to explain it. It was a good movie. And then we got Michael Giacchino as a composer. Like, holy fuck, the Incredibles, Ratatouille, Star Trek 09, and Holy fuck, fucking Speed Racer, the fucking
Oh.
greatest movie of all
Oh,
time. Like,
now
Why
we're
don't you just
starting.
lead with that next time?
oh man, I
That
want
way
to build up
I
to it,
wouldn't
all
be
right, you know?
diving so deeply into all of this research to try to figure
Hey,
out like
hey,
what happened.
hey, you know, I gotta, you know, give you some foreplay. You know, I don't want to get right to the climax. You know, so we also got like a really really good knockout cast on top of that. So you know, I had been looking forward to this movie before the pandemic started, you know, and then when they announced like they were pushing it back, I was like, "Fuck you," you know, and you know, my expectations have been through the roof for this movie ever since then. Um, so this movie, you know, cut the foreplay, 10 out of 10. You know,
Woo.
yeah, even as a standalone movie, if we're just viewing it as just like, you know, if you didn't know who Batman was or anything, I still think this is a 10 out of 10 movie. Like this is a rare blockbuster movie. Like it is just so surreally good. Like we got a fucking Seven inspired Batman flick. That's just so fucking cool. Like we were essentially given a detective Batman, which I don't think has really been done well before, right? Like the Nolan films try to dip into there, but I don't think too much of them. You know, it's just like mostly Batman using his tech is like, oh, we can like, you know, get the fingerprints off this bullet because I'm fucking rich as fuck. You know, it's just like, but you know, this actually showed that Batman is a smart dude, and he just was able to do all this stuff. And fuck, I'll get back into that in the spoiler zone because you know it does kind of touch on some plot points on the movie. But yeah, we got Detective Batman, we got emo angsty ass Batman, we got noir Batman, we got buddy cop Batman. We most importantly, we got I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing Batman. Like it got all them, molded them into one, and like Stu said, I think this is like the best characterization of Batman I've ever seen, you know, and of a character. It's really great, and the supporting cast is no slouch either. I mean, we got the best iteration of Catwoman, the best iteration of Jim Gordon, and unfortunately, the best iteration of the Penguin. I'm sorry, Dan DeVito, but you are still the best Spider-Man I have ever seen.
Man
Spider.
What's a Spider-Man?
So on top of all that, the fucking film is so stupidly gorgeous. Like, holy fuck, like there's just so many cool fucking shots in this movie. And a lot of them were establishing shots of Gotham. Like Stu said, like I don't think any other like piece of media has really portrayed Gotham quite as well as this movie. You know, it is like its own character. It gets you so familiar with all the locales and everything. And if you pay attention, you know, it actually, you know, forms a map in your head. Like you're able to see like some very key locations that happen in the end of the movie early on in the film and in relation to where they are in earlier scenes. You know, it's really cool. Fuck man, I this movie really had it all. I don't know how much more I can cram down your throats.
I really thought that you were going to set this up, and at the very end, you're going to be like 1 out of 10.
I thought I was expecting to go like that too, because every time I go in these films where I'm like, oh fuck, I love this director and the cast and blah blah blah, and then I watch the movie, I'm like, meh, you know, it's just like
That's why I don't put any weight into like, oh, the director is this guy or someone.
But it paid off. Oh my
They're
god,
not all gonna be smash hits.
Right.
Oh man, Smash Mouth, I love you. Oh.
Should we take a pause while Ben goes and cleans himself
up.
Oh man, no, I've been singing this ever since I got out of the theater. Oh man, it's staying with me until the next show.
For me, you guys said so much, I don't want to take anything from it. So I'll just give you guys my rating. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 just because of the fact that I have a feeling we're going to get 2 more. I think they're going to do another series, and I'm also very disappointed in the fact that none of the other IPs have gotten this treatment, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just their backstory is not as good, right? Obviously, I feel like Superman should get something very, very similar. Obviously, it's not going to be dark, but maybe that's why we don't kind of have a Superman movie that can, I don't know, rival the way that we treat the Dark Knight in general, right? We treat Batman differently than we do Superman, right?
Yeah, I think Superman and Batman are just too they're like kind of polar opposites as far as like styling, where Superman and what's the city that he's in?
Krypton.
Metropolis is like kind of like bright and bubbly and all that stuff, whereas
Bustling,
Gotham
yeah.
is just like the dank shithole that like crime infested, like
That's
whatever.
true.
So
Yeah, and plus, like, I think this kind of goes back to what we were saying about, like, Spider-Man. You know, it's like, why is Spider-Man so popular? It's because he's relatable, and, like, he's not too far out there, you know? He's, like, super strong, and he just lives in New York, and he's a fucking kid. Like, Batman, he's, you know, he's not a kid or anything. He's super rich and all, but he lives in, like, a shit city, right? And, like, you know, he's not super strong or anything. He's just a regular dude, right? And, you know, people can kind of relate to that, you know?
And I
whereas
think
Superman, he's fucking strong. He's so fast he could turn back time, you know?
he's
Just
an
like,
alien.
bullets just bounce off me.
yeah, it's just like, okay,
Well, I guess they kind of bounced off Batman in this movie too, but
yeah, but that was cool though.
yeah.
Superman just kind of standing there, just like, hey.
Well, because if
Batman's
he
like,
was too real, then Batman would just be dead every time he got shot.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, a little bullet bounce. I can suspend belief for that. But I don't think we've had a movie. Well, we've had a Batman. I don't. Man, it's hard because originally when they told us that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman or Bruce Wayne, I was just like laughing. I was like, yeah, he's gonna. The reason why they picked Batman is because in the sunlight he shines like a diamond. So they have to put him in the dark, and that's the only way is to put him as Batman. But I didn't think that he was going to be able to do that, but he definitely helped a lot in kind of giving Batman more motive than just, oh, I'm just Avenger for the city, blah blah blah. Like he has his own reasons for why he's doing what he's doing, right? And kind of getting involved. And I think that it changes like the narrative of him like being a I feel like a lot of times we want to all the like the cartoons and stuff like that portray Batman as like a goody two shoes, right? But here we get a real guy, like you guys are mentioning. Like he's relatable. I feel like if I was in the same position, if I had the same circumstances, I'd feel similar. And so I didn't even realize that it was almost a 3-hour movie until after I was like, man, that felt like a long time. So that was probably the only gripe I had was like, whoa. But it's a great film overall. I definitely want to see it again so that way I could probably pick up. I'm sure there are things I watched that I missed. So I'm hoping eventually when this comes out to Blu-ray or whatever, we get a chance to see it.
I don't think I gave a rating, but I want to say I'm as close to 10 as possible, but there were a couple things that I would have liked to see a little more or differently. So I'll call it a soft 9.9.
All right. We'll go ahead and we'll go under behind the cape, I guess. Whatever.
Under the mask, behind the mask.
the masks, and we'll go to the spoiler zone. Because it sounds like Ben and Stu, you guys had something you guys wanted to discuss. So, all right, we're there. All right, Ben, what is it?
All right, so when I was talking about Detective Batman and everything, like in the Nolan films, he does some detective work, but a lot of it is, I feel, kind of circumvented because I'm fucking rich and I have like Morgan Freeman to do my bidding, you know? This film, I feel like, Robert Pattinson just showed that he was just very knowledgeable and very quick thinking about a lot of these riddles and whatnot. And he did have tech, but what I really, really liked about it was the aesthetic of it all. Like, it reminded me weirdly about like Alien, like that retro futuristic tech.
You're right.
Where it's like it's futuristic, but it still has like that analog feel, like that dirty.
It makes you feel like it's believable of that particular period, right? It's not like
I mean,
that's like over extending.
Yeah, it's weird because like it seems like it's taking place like now, but it's still like this tech is like we don't have anything like it, but it has like its flaws and everything. Like when he's going into the club and he has Selena wearing the contact lens, like, oh, I have to adjust like something because I'm not getting a perfect picture. And even the way that it cuts out, like I would have I guess like one of the gripes I would have had is like, if it like cut out or something, it's like signal lost or something, and then like a 3D image pops up or some bullshit. No, it's just like really shitty, really shitty audio video that just cuts out. It's just like it's like small touches like that make it such a believable story, right? Even even though we're talking about like a superhero film, right? But yeah, like this detective Batman, I really liked the spin they put on it, and like how they characterize Batman as someone just so very, very smart. Now, I do like how they, I guess, juxtapose Batman with the Riddler in this film, which is kind of weird. You know, it's usually Batman versus Joker, but the idea that Batman and Joker and the Riddler were so similar, you know, they come from like similar backgrounds almost, right? How they were both orphaned, but it was like different circumstances, and how they have like very, very similar motives, and they almost got to the same point, you know? I really liked that. I really think thematically, like throughout the movie, that's what made it like its own stand alone movie. Like even though it's a Batman film, like you could totally view this film like in an independent scope and still say like, yeah, this is a really fucking good movie. Um, Now, that's not to say that, you know, it's not littered with opportunities to expand into sequels, right? Like that's also another thing I really liked about it. It was so quiet about like its um its intentions to make sequels and whatnot. Like it was so ingrained into the movie and the themes that you probably wouldn't have noticed it unless you really thought about it. Like, oh hey, we just left like the door wide open for like Robin being introduced, right? Like that kid being orphaned, and we also have leave the door wide open for Bane because Batman had that stupid green syringe at the end of the movie that made him super strong, right? So you can like spin off of that. Oh, did we also say that, you know, we also opened the door for Harvey Dent because the DA is gone now? Who's going to take his place? But
Oh, you have all these gaps, and then it's like, well, do you want us to do this? Then you need to leave us with another movie, essentially.
yeah, but I like how they didn't really pull a lot of attention to it. It was just part of the plot, you know? It was part of everything that was going on, and it didn't seem very forced. But it still leaves the door wide open for that. And even like a Selena going to Bloodhaven, which is you know, Nightwing's jurisdiction, you know, that's really cool too. So, you know, we got a lot of different opportunities here stemming from this really, really great movie.
Okay. What about you, Stu?
I think so. One of the I think the favorite things about this movie actually was what they opened the movie with, which I feel like we never really got like a good like they never really showed this very well in other movies, and I think they did a really good job in this movie, where it's kind of like the not exactly in the opening, but it kind of as we're getting introduced to Batman for the first time, the bat signal goes up, and it's showing all this crime going on around the city, and all these criminals. Like you never really get that sense that when like the signal goes up that like anyone really cares other than like, oh, Batman's just gonna go meet the commission, or you know, is gonna go meet up with whoever. But they kind of showed like the criminal element throughout the city, seeing that signal and then suddenly going, holy shit. Like, and then every shadow they look at, they're like, holy fuck, is that Batman?
Yeah, dude, I love how they like zoomed in on like absolutely nothing, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh fuck, you know, just like, is that him, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually like how when they're looking up at the signal, you know, it's usually followed by like a police chopper or chopper that's like shining a light on them or something. But then they're like, I don't give a fuck about the police, you know.
Right.
It's like it's fucking Batman.
Yeah. Yep. Like, yeah, the police aren't going to do anything, but
Yeah.
like, holy shit, Batman he's like lurking around every corner.
Mhm.
And then he says something along the lines that like he is the shadows. Like, so that was very cool. I really liked how they did that. And just like how they introduced Batman, even though we saw it in the trailer, that was like probably one of the coolest parts of the trailer when he
Yeah.
just beats the shit out of that guy.
Oh my god, that was so good. It's still satisfying.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, even though like it was like the very beginning of the movie, that was probably one of my favorite moments, aside from which we could probably all agree the when Penguin thinks that he gets the Batman.
Oh,
Yeah, like, got you
through the fire.
I got you.
What a fucking iconic scene!
That was amazing.
Shot afterwards, the upside down Batman. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
And there I go again.
Clean up on I'll never. But I think for me, I think the thing that really stuck out is that nobody was like untouchable in this movie, right? Everybody got affected in some way, right? Even in the Christopher Nolan version of Batman, Dark Knight, stuff like that, right? Alfred never gets touched. In this one, doesn't matter like if you're loosely connected with him at all or you're involved, like we're going to affect you in some way, right? They blow up Alfred. I mean, he's not dead right away, but like it's this like change that like the fact that oh, Ben, are you still here?
Yeah. What?
Oh, Stu said that he went missing.
Oh, I'm here. Wait, Stu? Hello?
Stu? Hello?
I don't see Stu.
I still see him in here.
I mean, like, I see him, but I don't hear him.
Oops. Okay. Pretty much nobody's unaffected, so I think that was actually kind of cool that everybody you got to really see Gotham at its worst. So we'll see if we get a couple more films out of this. That would be a really interesting thing to see. Guys, any other thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, Colin Farrell is the Penguin also.
I know that was you could not tell. I would never have known.
Where are you showing me this?
Hey. I almost wanted to start doing that in the theater.
Oh my god.
Hey, oh, hey. Yes.
Oh yeah. Stu, this time no problems at the theater?
Oh no, we started off with a fantastic problem.
Oh my god. Why, man? Why? What the fuck, dude?
And this, because I was so amped for this movie, this was probably one of the few times, if not the only times, I had to verbally say something to someone.
He still didn't do anything.
Yeah, like, this guy, there's like these two people showing up late to the movie as we're getting kind of the opening, like of the movie. They're behind us and they're walking around, can't find their seats. So I know, I'll turn my flashlight on my cell phone and wave it around. And it's like flashing. It's like right on top of me and Ben, and kind of where we're sitting. And then okay, so they walk by, and then okay, they find their seats. But oh wait, these aren't our seats. So they get up and they do it again, flashing their flashlight all over the place. And I think by like the third time, I was like, "Bro, turn your fucking flashlight off."
Yeah.
And
like, the worst part was like he was like looking at something or like at the seat, and he was holding his flashlight like in his hand, like by his side, but the fucking flashlight, because it was like by his side, the light was shining right on us. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like,
oh boy.
Like, it's not that dark in here, dude. Like, you don't need a flashlight.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And if you do, point it where you're looking. Fuck.
Yeah, holy fuck.
But yeah, so that was the fun moment, in that movie experience.
Sorry. I was really thinking, I was like, oh, maybe one of these big blockbuster movies, more people are more cognizant. But
yeah, I really wish, along that thing you're talking about, AMC increasing their price, they should probably also start doing some kind of enforcement like the Alamo does, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna close the door at this time, and if you're not in your seat, too bad.
Yeah, drag their ass out.
Yeah. Like,
well, I didn't even know that they did that.
I think they do. I'm not sure.
Really? I don't think
they lock you out of the movie.
I don't think they do, because people still go to the bathroom, but they do, like, they're pretty strict about people complaining about like people being on their phones or talking or something.
Right.
So I mean, you're there for a premium movie experience. You should get it.
There needs to be more enforcement in movie theaters, because people have no sense of anything.
They're so used to watching movies at home.
No, it's because it's always been this way.
Yeah,
really?
people
they're not giving them that out.
Yeah, I actually finally encountered something like this. So Letty and I watched the movie Dog. Kids were saying behind us, they were throwing fucking coins at our head.
What?
Yeah, well, I mean, and I actually told the staff, I'm like, hey, these fucking kids are throwing coins at us. And all they did was like, all right, they shouldn't do it anymore. If they do, we're going to kick them out. And I'm like, just kick them out now.
Yeah. They need to be taught a lesson.
Yeah, like, what the fuck kind of thing is that?
Why are they throwing coins?
I don't know. They're fucking kids.
Oh, man.
Okay. One thing more about the movie. I mean, there's plenty more to talk about on this movie, but one of the things I really liked about this iteration of Batman is how, like Ben said, they really nailed it with specifically Catwoman. In this one, I feel like, just based off like all the animated movies I watched, I feel like they did a really good job of capturing, Selena Kyle. But one of the things why I was like, I really wanted to give it 10, but like something towards the end where I was like, she like glances up at like all the scaffolding when she's gonna go like help Batman. I was like, all right, we're gonna see some Catwoman like stuff here. She's gonna, to get up there, and then they just didn't show it. So,
yeah, they just kind of dropped in out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like,
I would have really liked to see her do some Catwoman stuff there. So,
You want it? Forget
also, I was also wondering, like, why didn't you just throw your batarang at the electric cable instead of jumping over there?
I don't think he had his batarang yet.
It's on his chest.
Like, I think he only uses it as a knife. That was like the thing. Like, he only had the one, and they showed him like just using it as a knife. But I don't think he has like the actual batarangs yet.
Yeah, I'm starting
Well,
to think that like maybe this is like a prequel, like a pre-setup movie, right? Because it seems like a lot of things, like he's not as technologically advanced or like combat sound is like the Dark Knight like Christopher Nolan's Batman, right? He's kind of just like, all right, I'm taking on this, because I have to be anonymous, but there's clearly something going on that I need to get off my chest. Essentially, I need to figure out, right? And he kind of goes out there and does it, even though he's ill prepared, right?
Yeah.
He's not combat savvy like he is in all the other versions of Batman that we've seen.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's like literally year 2 Batman. He's still figuring shit out. Like fucking him flying around and him eating shit.
Yeah, that was great.
I was like, I was expecting him to have like this picture perfect landing right underneath the underpass as the bus is rolling through.
I thought he was trying to land on top of the bus or whatever it was.
I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to do, and he definitely did not.
Yeah, when I first saw that in the theater, like when he deployed his shoot and everything and was aiming for that gap, I'm like, what is he trying to do? Yeah. Like, there's no way he's gonna go. And then he just eats shit. I'm like, okay, I'm happy about that.
Actually, if they wanted to be more real, they should have just had Bruce Wayne show up in the emergency room with the neck cast, face. And he's just out for 6 to 8 months.
Oh, and one last thing I want to bring up. I don't want to like skim this over, but damn, Jim Gordon, what a dude, what a fucking dude. He really brought the buddy cop aspect of the movie.
Did you guys ever have a problem? Well, I guess there's a lot of controversy around this. Apparently, there were not enough good white people in the movie. Have you guys heard about this?
Good white people.
What does that mean?
Apparently, every white person that's not Batman or Alfred was depicted as evil, and apparently it's too woke. Is this version of this Batman movie? You can look it up online. Like people are.
I mean, I'm no fan of wokeness, but I didn't get that from this movie.
Right? It didn't like hit you over the head. I guess there was a line that Selena says that was these rich white.
That was like as woke as it got, which I was like, okay, settle down. But
but like
I didn't get the vibe that the overall movie
for
was.
Me, so. I don't know. Like I definitely heard a lot of like I saw a couple of like YouTube comments and stuff like that where people were very upset about it, and apparently it made news. So yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' take.
Slow news day, I guess.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's a war going on in Ukraine, but yeah, we're talking about this Batman shit.
Not enough white people apparently for some people. They were upset that Commissioner Gordon is usually white and he's black in this one.
Damn, how could they talk shit about Commissioner Gordon? He was such a bro, man.
He was
You
great.
could have punched me in the face.
Yeah.
You could pull that back, that punch.
I did.
So tentatively for us, we will be reviewing Gold if we can't find anything else, right?
Oh, Gold.
Oh, toy.
All right, that sounds like it's a yes. So join us next week as we might be reviewing Gold, or if we find something better, we'll come up with that. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're getting your podcasts. We're available on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google, and Apple Podcasts. And also don't forget to check out the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DoseNapSinkos. As always, I have been your host, David.
I'm Vengeance.
And I am also Vengeance.
I too
All
am
right, guys.
vengeance.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to tip your Reiki Master. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.